Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Before we proceed with today's topic, first let's just discuss what we have learned up till now. So, can anyone give me one example for physical change and one example for chemical change? Correct. And chemical change? Ripening of fruit, rusting of iron, all these are examples of chemical change. So, now we'll perform an activity. So, if you see, um, here I have a bowl of clean water, then half lemon, and we have baking soda. So firstly, we'll just squeeze this lemon into the water. So this will form a lemon water mixture. Okay, we'll squeeze it. So this has now formed a mixture. To this, we will add baking powder. So as I'll add the baking powder, I'll just rotate the camera so that you can get a clear view of what will happen. So wait a minute. So this is our mixture. Now I'm adding the baking powder. So if you see, so now what did you observe on adding this baking powder? Exactly. So something happened when we added this baking powder, baking soda to this mixture. So that something is actually the chemical change. That is, as soon as we added this baking soda into the lemon water, we saw effervescence, or we can say liberation of gas, as Poonamji said, um, bubbling. So this gas is actually formation of CO2. And can anyone tell me the two major components which was involved in this chemical reaction? Correct. And what was the result we got? The result we got was liberation of gas. So we will learn more chemical changes now through the PPT. So our topic for today is chemical change and chemical bond. Firstly, let's just understand the difference between physical change and chemical change. Now here if you see rotting, melting, chopping, boiling and shredding. All these are examples of chemical change. Physical change. Whereas combustion, rusting and digestion, these are examples of chemical change. So basically, if we are about to define what is a chemical change, how we can define is whenever the original composition of a substance changes, then that change is known as chemical change. Here if we see the fruits, the iron, then lighting of a matchstick, the rotting of banana and this liberation of gases, all these are examples of chemical change. So when composition of original substance changes to form new substance with a different composition and property, then such a change is called as chemical change. So the next question arises is, how do we observe the chemical change? So as we performed the activity just now, we noticed the bubble around the particles, and if we observe carefully, we can hear a crackling sound. So by looking at it, we can sense the change. Other than this, we know that the taste of lemon is sour in taste, but as soon as we add the baking soda, there is a change in the taste. That is, it becomes mild. So this proves that the original composition has now changed to new substance and that the chemical change has taken place. So the observation can be change in color, change in taste, change in odor, that is smell, or change in the texture or composition. Now let's learn about the chemical change and how do we write the equation, that is the word equation as well as the chemical equation. So before that, can someone just repeat the definition which we have learned for chemical change?
When a substance undergoes a change and a new substance is formed with new properties.
Correct. So for writing a chemical equation, it is necessary that the exact change is known to us. For example, the activity we performed. If there wouldn't have been the liberation of gas, that is CO2, we just couldn't write the chemical equation for it. So it is very important that we know the end product of the reaction. Now, for example, the experiment. When baking soda was added to lemon juice, a chemical change takes place in the citric acid present in the lemon juice, and the gas form is carbon dioxide. So the lemon contains citric acid. For this experiment, you can also use vinegar. It consists of acetic acid. So here we took lemon, citric acid. Now how we will write the equation? Citric acid, that is present in lemon, with addition of sodium bicarbonate, that is a baking soda, resulted in CO2, that is carbon dioxide, and sodium citrate. So it's basically addition of acid, as citric acid is an acid, sodium bicarbonate is a salt, it is carbonate salt, that is a base, and what will it resulted in the formation of a gas and salt. So this reaction, that is acid plus base, when forms a salt, such reaction is called as neutralization reaction. So always remember that while writing a chemical equation, firstly the name of the substance is involved, like here we wrote citric acid and sodium bicarbonate. Then what result we got, that is the carbon dioxide and sodium citrate. Then after this we write the chemical formula for it. As soon as we write the chemical formula, it becomes the chemical equation, and when we write it in the word form, it is known as the word equation. So this I will explain in next slide. So chemical changes in everyday life. We know that many changes occur around us. So now we will see few examples for which we can actually write the equations easily. So firstly, the natural chemical change. So this means that the reaction occurs naturally and there is no human intervention. That is, both the reactants will react naturally on their own and we do not have to add any substances. So the first example is respiration. So respiration, it is a biological process. We breathe, that is we inhale air and then we exhale it. So we humans, we exhale CO2, whereas from the air the O2 is used up by our body. So the air we inhale, it reacts with the glucose which is present in our body, and it results in the formation of CO2. So we inhale the air and then we exhale it. So the air that we exhale, it is CO2. Now let's see the equation. Firstly, the word equation. Glucose that is present in the body, it reacts with oxygen and forms carbon dioxide and water. So here if you see, the original substances is always written on the left hand side, and the newly formed substance, that is the CO2, it is written on the right hand side. And the arrow, this denotes the direction. This arrow, this denotes the direction and points out the substance that is formed. So the left hand side, that is glucose and oxygen, this is called as reactant, whereas the right hand side, that is the carbon dioxide and water, it is called as the product, as it's the result which we have got. So this is the word equation. Now we'll see the chemical equation. So C6H12O6, chemical formula for glucose, when reacts with oxygen, that is O2, respiration occurs and the result is formation of CO2, that is carbon dioxide, and water, that is H2O. Now if we try to figure this out, this experiment, in this they have asked us to take some freshly prepared lime water. Basically lime water is nothing but a solution of calcium hydroxide, and we have to keep on blowing it with a blow tube. So as we are blowing, just remember we are blowing, that is we are exhaling the air, so it will consist of CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So did the colorless lime water turn milky? It will turn milky, and then afterwards you will find that a white insoluble substance will settle at the bottom, and it will lead to the formation of calcium carbonate. This is the end product. So how we are going to write the reaction? The two main reactants in this was the air that we were blowing, that is carbon dioxide, then the solution of calcium hydroxide, it ended up forming a precipitate of calcium carbonate and water. So here you have to try to write down the chemical equation for this activity. Now let's proceed further. The second one is photosynthesis. If you observe this image, we know that green plants perform photosynthesis as they have presence of chlorophyll. Now the main component required here is CO2, that is carbon dioxide, which they get from environment, water and minerals which they get from root, and sunlight which they get from nature. Okay, and they result in formation of glucose and oxygen. So the green plants, they perform photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight. Now the equation, these plants, they use carbon dioxide and water, and in the presence of sunlight, and since they have presence of chlorophyll, they form glucose and oxygen. So this is the word equation. Now how we will write the chemical equation? So what is the chemical formula for carbon dioxide?
CO2.
And for water?
H2O.
Correct. So CO2 plus H2O in the presence of sunlight and green plant, as they have chlorophyll, it will result in glucose. So the chemical formula for glucose?
C6H12O6.
Correct. C6H12O6 and oxygen, that is O2. So this was about photosynthesis. Now we'll see some man-made changes. So students, the activity which we perform, it was example of natural or man-made change. The activity of baking soda and lemon water?
Man-made.
Yes, man-made because we manually added some substances which resulted in the final product. So let's see more example of man-made changes. So combustion of fuel. So the main substance that burns is carbon and it releases CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So the common equation for this can be written as carbon plus oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. It is the common equation for the combustions. So how we can write the chemical equation for this? Carbon is C, oxygen is O2, and it leads to formation of CO2 gas. So this was about combustion of fuels. The next is Shahbadi tiles. So the tiles, they mainly comprises of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. We all must have observed that tiles are being cleaned with acid in order to get shine or so that it can easily remove the dirt. So when HCl, that is dilute hydrochloric acid, is added on tiles, we get three products: calcium chloride, that is CaCl2, carbon dioxide, that is CO2, and water, H2O. So firstly let's see the equation for this. So can anyone tell me the reactant in this? Which two things react? Okay, so it's the tiles, that is calcium carbonate, and the dilute hydrochloric acid, and the products which we will get is this three. So firstly the word equation: calcium carbonate present in the tiles, on adding hydrochloric acid it gives these three products, that is calcium chloride, carbon dioxide, and water. So firstly, what happens to calcium chloride? It mixes with the water and then it gets washed away. Whereas the carbon dioxide, that is CO2, it forms the bubble and it mixes with the air. And finally the water, it mixes with the water itself. So this was the word equation. Now chemical equation. Calcium carbonate, CaCO3, on adding hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, it gives, I have already written the three chemical formula above. So CaCl2 plus CO2 plus H2O. So this was about cleaning Shahbadi tiles with dilute hydrochloric acid. Lastly, softening of hard water. So before we actually learn how to soften the hard water, let's just learn the difference between hard water and soft water. So firstly, these hard waters are found in tube wells or groundwater like deep wells, whereas soft water example is rainwater. Then this hard water contains high amount of minerals like magnesium and calcium, whereas the soft water, it consists of sodium ions. Then no foam or lather forms from soaps in case of hard water, whereas we can see formation of bubbles in soft water if we use soap. Lastly, it leaves spots on the washed dishes after dried. If we use hard water, we can see these spots on the dishes, whereas in soft water, it doesn't leave any spots on the dishes. So this was just the difference between hard water and soft water. Now let's learn how to do the softening of this hard water. So as mentioned earlier, it contains the chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium in dissolved state. So they have calcium and magnesium salts present in it. So in order to soften this hard water, what we add is, we add washing soda. also known as sodium bicarbonate. The chemical formula for this is Na2CO3. So here the result will be formation of carbonate salts of calcium and magnesium. For now we will be just seeing the reaction for calcium, and then we'll try to write the reaction for magnesium. So firstly the two reactants will be the water, as it contains calcium chloride, and the washing soda, that is Na2CO3. These two will react and give us a final product. So the word equation is calcium chloride plus sodium carbonate. It results in formation of calcium carbonate, that is carbonate salt, and sodium chloride. So the chemical equation for this. So can anyone try to figure out the chemical equation, how we will write it? The chemical formula for calcium chloride?
CaCl.
Correct. And for sodium carbonate, bicarbonate it should be. Sodium bicarbonate?
Na.
Na. It's Na2CO3. Okay. Then it results in the formation of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, and sodium chloride, that is NaCl. So this was for calcium. Now if we have to write the chemical equation for magnesium, so what we will do here is, in place of calcium we'll just write magnesium. So calcium stands with Ca. For magnesium we have to write Mg2, and rest all the equation will remain the same. So what we have learned today? We have learned about the chemical change, that is the composition of original substances changes to form new substance with a different composition and new properties. And then we saw different examples. In natural chemical change we saw respiration and photosynthesis, and in man-made change we saw one activity, and then conversion of fuel, cleaning of Shahabad tiles, and lastly difference between the soft and hard water and how to do the softening of hard water. So clear up till here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the question. Explain. It takes time for pieces of Shahabad tiles to disappear in HCl, but its powder, it disappears rapidly. Why is it so? Can anybody try? When we add HCl on the tiles, it takes time, but when we add HCl to the powder tiles, it disappears rapidly. Okay. So the reaction, this depends on the size of reactant, that is, as the size will be greater, more time it will take. So because the tiles, they have greater size, it takes more time to disappear, and since the size of the powder is small, it disappears rapidly. Next is, write the molecular formula for glucose. Chemical formula?
C6H12O6.
Correct. Why bubbles are seen on adding lemon juice to baking soda?
Carbon dioxide is released in the form of bubbles.
Correct. Lastly, is it safe to use hard water for bathing or cooking? Justify your answer.
It is not safe as it contains minerals like calcium and magnesium.
Yes, correct. It is not safe as it can cause harm to skin, so it's better we soften it. So here's the homework. What are the methods of classification of changes? And prepare a list of the change that occur in your surrounding, and you have to classify them into physical and chemical change. So that's all for today. Thank you.